they will cry freedom of information, liberty.
I believe in free speech.
You know, and there's a lot of shitty prime ministers and presidents out there. Many people actually seem to advocate them more than David Cameron. You know, George Bush, who was a complete fucking imbecile. I've seen more people that will openly defend him more than I've seen with David Cameron. Pretty much everyone, besides the politically correct imbeciles, will get behind this idiot. And even then, it's a rare portion of the politically correct people. I know many grandparents and parents in general that I've seen online and in real life that, though they may have the most fucked up moronic mindsets out there, even they wouldn't advocate David Cameron. Even they, the most mundane, generic people out there, would still detest David Cameron. A website by the name of nobullion.com actually advocates what David Cameron says. This is what they said. By virtue of being a parent and authority, Cameron has the power and accompanying instruments to see this ban through. So all parents with any moral values left in them should support this proposal. The reason many are critical of this ban on pornography is perhaps informed by the lack of understanding of what a society would look like if porn was free for all, including children. A David Cameron advocate calling us the misinformed one. Psst, fucking nice irony there. And guess what? He then turns to use the Ted Bundy argument. One case that underscores the need for a pornography ban, not only in the UK as proposed by Mr. Cameron, but also in America, is the potential perversion from continuous consumption of these images. America's Theodore Robert Cowell, famously known as Ted Bundy, is one serial killer in country's history that can help critics understand the possible outcomes of exposure of pornography. In his confession just before his execution in 1989, he said to have brutally murdered 13 women, with authorities believing that the figure was conservators and his victims could have been much more than 30. The extra confession that he would visit the murder scenes as the bodies decomposed to do sexual acts was even more graphic. In fact, he even confessed to have kept the heads in some of his victims as souvenirs. Can it get creepier than that? But then how did this all start? Ted revealed that it all begun when he watched a single pornographic image as a child. Just one image and this cute little boy began his transformation into a monster. Well, you do need to realise one thing. Ted Bundy was mentally deranged. So he managed to perceive stuff differently to how a normal person would. He perceived a knife differently to how a normal person would. Does that mean we should ban fucking knives? No, because mentally deranged people perceive shit differently. And that's a given. That's established. So we should find out who the mentally deranged people are, and find out how they perceive stuff. Find out their neurology. Keep them away from innocent people. Secondly, although he did say that pornography played a part in him killing people, he also said this.
I'm not blaming pornography and not saying that it caused me to go out and do certain things. And I take full responsibility for whatever I've done and all the things that I've done. That's not the question here.
The person who you're trying to make prove your point destroyed your point. How does that feel? TheGuardian.com highlighted Mark Bridges' case. He was found guilty of murdering a 5-year-old April Jones and confessed to deriving addiction from online sex abuse videos. This case further affirms the negative outcomes of exposure to pornography and should persuade Cameron's critics to support his noble cause. Again, mentally deranged people perceive stuff differently. If I saw my shoe as a threat, does that mean that shoe should be banned? No, I should be taken away and get it treated. If I'm really that fucked up in the head, I should go to a psychiatrist, a therapist, and all of these people for them to test me and make sure whether or not I'm sane. It should be understood that the ban as proposed by the UK Prime Minister is to limit access and should not outlaw pornography entirely. Through subscriptions, adults will still enjoy them, so there should be no fear amongst consumers. Then don't you think your title's a bit deceptive? What also ties into this is David Cameron's view on rape porn. Whether or not it's simulated is besides the point. If you got caught with rape porn, whether or not it was simulated or whether or not it was made by actual fucking rape, you will still be arrested for 3 years. I'm not even going to go into why this is fucking stupid. You can just watch the Amazing Atheist video. He pretty much summarises it up. David Cameron's main catalyst as to getting the ban on internet porn is this.
You know, when we're offline, you know, there are rules about what films you can see in a cinema, what age you have to be to buy alcohol or cigarettes or what have you.
Yeah.
But on the internet, there aren't those rules, so we need to help parents with control.
Okay, so listen to this line of reasoning. You're encouraging parents to make rules for their children, yet when the internet comes in place, you just say that the internet should make the rules? What the fuck? Shouldn't it be the parents that make the rules? Maybe they put up certain stuff which blocks out the website. Maybe they do it instead of just putting it in place for everyone and making this fear tactic. Oh, well, look at their partners. They're going to be really embarrassed when they have to talk to their other partner. Stop encouraging this naive, preconceived fear tactic, you fascist fucking gullible infant.